do my passion of filmmaking as an actual career.
It was shocking.
Welcome to School Days.
Inspirational Story Edition
I'm your host, Lola Bonwell.
with Declan Monahan.
We'll hear of a young girl's road to recovery
A teacher makes a difference.
and an escape from Lebanon.
All this and more on this edition of
School Days. Our first story is about my cousin Annabelle, whose life took a turn overnight.
Along with Lola, Alexis helped produce this story.
This is Annabelle. She's a little girl who suffers from a very rare 1 in a million disease that is very hard on the heart, and ever since being diagnosed, it has had an impact on her everyday life.
Hi, I'm Jamie, Annabelle's mom.
Ask Jamie to explain to us what pulmonary hypertension
It is the constriction of the pulmonary arteries and all the supporting blood vessels, so they go into the heart. And when those arteries get constricted, it actually enlarges the right side of the heart, and it's not something that you want. It actually weakens the heart and makes things very difficult for the patient.
Ask Jamie what Annabelle's pump was there for and if she could explain how it works.
Yep, so her medication that goes in there is called Remodulin. It's a form of treprostinil. So that relaxes the blood vessels and gets her pressures in her heart down. So the reason she is on a pump is because that's the best way for pediatric patients to get that medication. And so the pump is set up at a certain rate and a certain dosage. My husband actually mixes all the medication, hooks it up to the pump in a cassette, and then that goes into a line that sits right above her heart, and the medicine drips in right above her heart at a continuous rate. So it's 24/7 being pumped, and again, it's been the best medication option for her.
We asked Annabelle what she liked about her backpack.
Is funky.
It's funky?
Yeah.
Does it help you?
Yeah.
So you like it?
Yeah.
Annabelle's mom if there was ever a time she lost hope in Annabelle's recovery.
When she was in the hospital, she was very sick. It was very, very scary because her disease is so rare, and a lot of children, unfortunately, don't survive, and some have to get a single or double lung transplant, so it was definitely pretty scary. And then, once we did get out of the hospital, we didn't know if she was going to progress or if it was going to stay the same. And lucky for us, her medicine has done wonders for her, and she's actually doing better than she was prior to diagnosis.
Asked Annabelle what her reaction would be to somebody at school making fun of her backpack.
Tell the teacher.
That's a smart idea.
Asked Annabelle about any happy memories from the hospital.
I have some friends.
You made friends?
This way, we're going to the elevator. We're going. Oh, look at this. Big sign for you. There's a big sign for you. Say thank you, everybody.
How is Annabelle now?
She's in 3rd grade and she's doing great.
Up next, we have a story about a mom who overcame breast cancer.
Her kids were really young at the time.
A 4-year-old son and a 1-year-old daughter.
It was shocking. It was like, this can't really be real. And I was diagnosed in August of 2012.
Do you remember it like it was yesterday?
I do remember bits of it like it were yesterday, and also it feels like a lifetime ago at the same time.
The doctor told you got cancer. What were you like feeling like?
It was shocking. It was like, this can't really be real. And I would describe it as like a full feeling of like the earth falling out from underneath you.
Yeah. How did you like tell Annabelle and Teddy, because they were your kids, so young, telling them that you had to go over this big bump in your life?
Yeah. Well, they were 4 and 1.
Oh, my mom got cancer. It was actually at the zoo, Franklin Park Zoo.
And so I think at 4, we did describe that there was something that I had to get taken out.
My sister was really young, and I had to be there for her, make sure she was okay.
And we used the word cancer
But I knew what was going on, and it was tough experience, but knew she was gonna be okay in the long run.
Do you feel normal when you had cancer, like, or did it just like bring like this like unnormal to you?
Oh, I think at the time it really felt like a living nightmare. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. And when things have surfaced that, you're getting tested, is it back? Is it, is that just a regular mass that people have in their bodies? Or is this, a metastases? It doesn't feel normal. I think it feels like your world is just turned upside down and you can barely breathe. That was how I would describe it. But I think now I can, on a daily basis, I'm not, unless something's popped up and I'm worried about it, I feel really just blessed to have that calm that I wish everyone could have. And I just can't imagine someone who has metastatic disease that's constantly battling it. I think they really lose that peace and that calm, and that's what's so devastating to know, is that they just don't have that, and I wish they could. Yeah.
So your big word is hope. What like made you like choose hope out of everything? Like, why did you want hope to be like your big thing? Like, you wrote a book about hope is a good breakfast. Like, what made you think that like you wanted to do that?
Yeah, I didn't even choose it. It
just came?
Because I think if anyone has been in a situation where, well, I can't speak for everybody. I know I have definitely heard many stories, and I experienced myself, where you feel like there's no way I can get through this. I mean, there's no way this will ever get better. If I feel this fear and this pain forever, how will I ever deal? And there's just this feeling that pops up, and a little thought that says, like, maybe you will be able to deal. Like, maybe this won't be as bad as you think, or maybe this good thing can happen, or, maybe this miracle can happen. And I think that that to me is what hope is. It's that idea that it's not over, that things that you think are over aren't over. Or even, I think in my recent years, I've really, not to get too deep on you, but I think my hope has developed past the hope of surviving necessarily, to the hope that even if I didn't survive, that the people I love would be okay. And so that even the hope itself has evolved. It used to just be the hope that I would survive, and now it's something different, which I think is even deeper and in a way even more beautiful.
Amazing. It really shows how truly strong and brave she is.
So were her kids, especially at such a young age.
John worked with Maud to help tell a personal story.
His dad escaped from Lebanon to start a new life in America for his family.
Stories? All the stories are scary stories, bad stories, stories that I don't like to remember. So I can tell you a story. Yeah, of course.
The Lebanese Civil War was a horrific war that started in 1975 and lasted for 15 years. It resulted in a mass exodus of nearly 1 million people, including my parents. This is my father, Michel Chakrella, and this is my mother, Morella Chakrella, and this is the story of how they escaped.
Yes, I was born during the Civil War, and all my life lived in shelters with bombs day and night, so very scary. We ran back home And I remember my dad said we have to leave the town. We have to go somewhere else because it's really dangerous now. They might, come in, fight very close to where we live.
For their own sake, they managed to make the long trip to France.
No, it was exciting. When you're young and you're ready to go for an adventure, it was exciting. It wasn't scary.
While in France, they both decided to go to college, and that's where they ended up meeting.
Troubles? A little bit of struggle. New country, to get used to it. But if you mean like studying at college, no. You just have to study hard, I guess. That's all.
My parents' journey wasn't over yet, however. They came to America so they could start a family with a bright future.
We want safety for our kids, for the family. That's number one. Number two, we want a place where you guys live, where you feel you are equal to everyone else. We want a place where people look at other people and see a human. They don't see like rich and poor, or Christian and Muslim, or black or white. So I want you to be raised in a place where you learn to look at the other person and see a person. All right?
That was really inspiring.
Hello everyone, my name is Aiden Murphy. Today I'm going to be taking you through the minds of student athletes and coaches through COVID and how their teams and them persevered.
All right, Owen, how was it learning through the screens and having to study/complete homework and tests online during freshman year?
That was a really hard year because, when you come here from middle school to high school, it's obviously a big difference in workload and how you're treated like an adult. So having to go through that year online was really hard for me personally to realize that, I was going to be treated like an adult now. There wasn't going to be many teachers babying me anymore. And having to do that online was a big learning curve for me. But, I think that really helped me long-term wise, learn how to persevere through difficult times and also just how to be an adult and persevere through hard work.
How did you and your teams persevere through the pandemic and still manage to have successful seasons, although the struggles of COVID?
It was tough when you don't have many times to, get together before the season starts, or not not the usual season. We all talked about it. Everybody had to go through the same things we were going through, so there's no excuses in that. It's just a regular season. We got to treat it like a regular season, and it worked out pretty well.
All right. And lastly, did you have any positives from COVID?
Yeah, definitely. I think I really grew as a person. It really helped me focus on myself, getting all that time, and just finding out who I was. And it also helped me learn a lot of valuable self skills, like how to complete work on my own, and just how to be a more self-sufficient person.
How was it teaching through the screens and not being able to interact with your new students?
I would say it made it challenging, and it was definitely different. For obvious reasons, but not having the interface and the interaction in person, it's sometimes hard to read, what students are thinking or what people are thinking through a screen. So just that layer of challenge alone, I think, made it incredibly difficult to really know if what was being taught was really actually impacting students and if it was, resonating and sinking in with them.
What were your initial thoughts when schools shut down completely at first? Did you expect what did you expect the schools to do, and how long did you expect the pause to be?
I think initially I saw it as we'd be out for a week and then we'd be back and things would be okay, and it was out of precaution. And then once that leave got extended to like a month period, it kind of felt like the writing was on the wall with it, that we may not be coming back for that year. But it was always just a case of uncertainty. You never knew when things might shift or change.
All right, and lastly, how was your coaching impacted by COVID and the pandemic during my freshman year?
Yeah, as the strength coach for all the sports teams, it was definitely a huge impact. We couldn't access any of our training facilities. We had to do everything outside in open space on the turf, and even when we could get back into the training facilities, we were limited on numbers, which really turned people away and kind of put a big damper on what we were doing with strength and conditioning. And we're finally now starting to recover some of that, I think, but it definitely took its toll and had a major impact on the level of engagement we got across all of our sports teams.
People who face adversity are often stronger for it. We'll be back after these messages. You know what? I don't really like this game. Are we feeling cool?
Sure.
Wyatt and I got third place at the Hockomock Film Festival for that video.
Hopefully this will inspire people to secure their weapons.
Next up is a story about our video production teacher, Mr. McDonough.
Mr. McDonough is the #1 reason that I'm able to do my passion of filmmaking as an actual career.
Mr. McDonough has been the leading film educator at Canton High School for the last 23 years, starting his journey here back in 2000, and has been recording film for over 30 plus years. He's an inspiration for many students who have come here, many alumni, and many people now who are still pursuing his class. Mr. McDonough is a generational talent. Here's a story of how he started and how impactful his life has been.
Very fortunate. I stand on the shoulders of Ernie St. Jean, and sadly he just passed away yesterday. And this is being filmed in October of 2023. Ernie started this program and built it into this incredible partnership with Community Television. I came in and they were gave me a sheet of paper and they said, hey, develop a new studio for our new building. I was just in the right place at the right time, but I built on his success. Harnessing that power in your pocket, where everybody has a phone now, it's a mobile TV studio. You can plan your shoot, tape your shoot, edit your shoot, distribute your shoot from your pocket. And every kid has that now.
I got my start working for the Hull Life Saving Museum at the Charlestown Navy Yard.
They used to get kids that were coming out of DYS, Department of Youth Services, and their program was to build boats, and we documented the boats being made, and those guys teaching kids from neighborhoods how to row. For a parent, when a kid leaves their home, that parent's voice is in their ear. I'd like to think at times I'm in people's ears where they say, oh, better get that rule of third. And I really want to thank the Canton community for the support they've given to this program and to get out of our way and let us soar. And that's really been greatly appreciated by me, my students, and I think the general public. They seem to embrace the program that we create. I'm going to ruin your ability to veg out watching TV because you're going to be more analytical. You're going to wonder why and how it's made. And if I did that, I did my job.
I'm Mike Noon. I'm a freelance international photographer and videographer. So I get hired to do music videos, fashion shoots. I also do broadcast sports, which is what I was doing today. I was at Boston College shooting a field hockey game. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Yeah. McDonough taught me, drilled into my head when I was in his class, is how to coil. So even just stuff like that has put me so far ahead of a lot of people who even went to college for film. So I give most of the credit for me being able to actually have a career of doing film to Mr. McDonough and the skills he taught me. I'm still using them today.
What inspires you to keep going, and why do you keep teaching film?
Coffee keeps me going, but why do I keep teaching film? seeing growth in people, seeing the kid who couldn't compose a shot in the beginning of the year suddenly have a real keen eye and real enjoy doing it. And what really brings joy to my heart is when they reach back and they help others because they were helped along the way. Nothing better than a great game where Canton comes out and Tropics go Bulldogs.
Just to say what you said, I mean, honestly, I've been taking photos myself and I've been like, gotta get that rule of thirds.
Can't have that video first.
Gotta get that rule.
We love you, Dunzo!
This past week, The Citizen did a story on one of his former students, Mia Tess.
She works at Disney and recently got her first feature film credit for the animated film Wish.
She also works in post-production, and we encourage you to see her name on the big screen.
As a child, Canton resident Julian Allen was picked on for his size.
Jack and Connor investigated how he dealt with his problem.
I am here at Answers Fitness in Canton, Massachusetts, with an inspirational hometown story with a young man who overcame his eating addiction. He is here to take us through his weight loss journey. I am here with Julian Allen in the sauna, where he spent a lot of time in here during his weight loss journey. I have a few questions for you, Julian. What jump-started you to start your weight loss journey? You lost a lot of weight in a little amount of time.
Man, it was back in 6th grade, actually. Me and a few of the Bulldogs, made it all the way to the Super Bowl in football. You know how that is. That's pretty exciting. We beat Stoughton, we beat Norton, and now we got Foxborough. Let me just tell you, bro, we went to Hanlon Field in Medway, bro. Did not go as we planned, let me tell you that, bro. We ended up losing that game. And actually after, one of the moms gave everybody on the team a cookie. And you know me, I was just eating my cookie normally. And one of the Foxborough kids came up to me and said, "Hey, good game, big boy." You know how mad that got me, man? You know how mad that got me? Ever since then, bro, grinding every single day, 24/7, man. I don't like being called big boy, man. That's not me. You know me. I hit the grind. All these personal trainers, man.
He took the bullying personally. He would work day and night, go to the gym every day, and when the gym was closed, he was out running on the street.
You've been in the gym for a while now. Do you have any mentors in the gym that help you grow throughout your journey?
Man, I remember my first time ever being in the gym, man. It's a lot of pressure, man. All these older guys, all these older women, bro, and it was just me. I wasn't that big. I mean, I was big like this, but I wasn't big and tall like they were, man. But I actually do have one mentor in mind. His name's Muhammad, my cousin. One of my first times, I was just walking on the treadmill. He comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, I'm hitting arms and back. Do you want to work out with me?" I was like, "You know what? Might as well." And he gave me one of the best workouts I think I've ever had. We went for 2 straight hours, grinding no matter what the circumstance was. Man, I loved working out with Muhammad. That was one of the best summers ever. But as I got older, I learned more and more. Now I'm out here teaching the community how to work out, baby. Let's go. I'll always praise you, Muhammad. You're my man for life, brother.
Were there instances of bullying in your life about your body? If so, what were they?
You know, this is a touchy subject, man. Sometimes, man, there was, it was back in 5th and 6th grade, man. They'd always bully me. They call me big, they call me fat, they call me mortally obese. It was just, man, first to talk about it, man. But I remember back in, I think it was 5th grade, man, me and this one kid, he kept calling me fat. So you know what I did? Took my fist and I just put it right into his face, taught him a nice quick lesson that you don't call King Julian fat, man. And ever since then, man, just like I said after the game, man, I've been grinding. Muhammad's been a big help, man. Come on, man. Brother for life. Grind don't stop, baby. All the bullies, man, I don't listen to them anymore.
What advice would you give to someone that's in a similar position as you were?
Man, the advice I give you, be different than everybody else, man. An example I got, you know, say you're playing football on a grass field, man, and it's raining. Be happy for the rain, man. Pray for cold water, man. Everybody who's like, oh, I don't want to play, I don't want to get dirty. Don't listen to that, man. I don't live off hope. They don't know me, son.
Julian certainly made a commitment.
Our next video is another story on overcoming adversity. A local elementary teacher found out she had cancer.
In this story by myself and Wyatt, we discovered how she managed to keep hope.
Fiber actually saved my life, so yeah, I owe them everything.
You can't move forward if you stay still and you're stuck. So it's really important to me in any time where I'm struggling to just remember everything is temporary and you just have to move through it.
What did you have?
I had breast cancer. It was hormone positive, HER2 negative, with lymphatic invasion.
And how did you know my mom?
I was the head trainer at Burn Boot Camp Norway when your mom was a client there.
So how did you take the news of her diagnosis?
Honestly devastated, just heartbroken and devastated for her and what that meant.
Well, I was actually getting my car, I was getting an oil change on my car, and I was waiting for it, and she called me. And I remember everything, what I was wearing, what I was thinking, and I just was in complete shock. And I immediately just started trying to comfort her. And then from that day on, it was like constant check-ins, you know, dropping by to see if she was okay, bringing her like little treats, and then just like giving her lots of encouragement texts as well.
Checking in with her each and every time she was at camp. How are you feeling? How are things going? You know, mentally, physically, kind of gauging where she was and what she needed from the workout. Some of those workouts they're either strength-based or they are cardio-based, and so they can be pretty high intensity. It's a boot camp at the end of the day. So kind of feeling her out, how she felt, and then modifying, taking the intensity down on anything that needed to be brought down, modifying, you know, any exercises that she didn't feel comfortable doing, or that she wasn't able to do. So really just kind of gauging her and then just changing the exercises out, and honestly just being there to encourage her and support her and give her, you know, that positive feedback that I was proud of her that she was just there showing up.
With a lot of treatment, chemotherapy, radiation, I have ongoing medications that I take, I get injections, all to stop hormone production. So it's an ongoing process, but I have a great medical team and they put a treatment plan together that fortunately seems to be working. Another thing that I really made sure to stay active. I was always active prior to my diagnosis, but after the diagnosis, I made a promise to myself to maintain that.
Well, it's a great way to relieve stress, so that definitely helps. It also encourages other healthy habits that I do as well, such as promoting good sleep and eating healthy. So working out has definitely kept me healthy and well-rounded.
I've always felt, really drawn to her. I think she's just such a wonderful person, and I'm just so inspired by her story. I still talk about her quite often to other people when we're going through hard things, right? How important your mindset is around nutrition, how important fitness and just believing in yourself and having the courage to do hard things and persevere and be resilient. So yeah, she definitely still continues to inspire me.
I did a lot of walking when I wasn't feeling well, and I continued to go to my gym a couple of times a week when I felt up for it.
So what gym did you go to?
Burn Boot Camp in Norwood. The community at that time was just, it was unmatched, and I was very involved there prior to the diagnosis, and I made some great friendships that last to this day.
Erin and I actually met at the John F. Kennedy School in Canton, and we've been teaching together for quite a few years.
You keep looking at your bracelet. Do you mind explaining the significance?
Oh, I looked at it because it says keep moving, and that's something that I learned at Burn. That's one of their, I don't know if it still is, but keep moving was always something that the trainers there would say. And when I got my diagnosis, I had this made. It's a mantra band. It says keep moving on it, so that I would remember that when I was really tired or depressed or overcome with just the weight of it all, to remember just put one foot in front of the other and keep moving. And so that's actually what that is.
And so you're wearing a Jimmy Fund Walk shirt.
Yes, I did my 5th Jimmy Fund Walk today.
I did the 13.2 mile walk with Erin and a couple other teachers, and then I've done some of the shorter walks too as well. They even had one right here in Canton that I did.
This year I did the half marathon. Slightly shorter this year because the finish line was at Fenway Park, but I did the course from Wellesley to Boston. This year I raised over close to $2,000. In the past I've raised, my first year I raised $5,000. Each year I try to raise at least $1,500. So keep moving, get up every day, get dressed, even if you don't go anywhere, and try to get some movement into your day, because it just does amazing things to reset your brain and your mindset, even if it's just a walk down the block. Or if you're feeling well, maybe even so much as a full workout, but just make yourself get up.
How has her story inspired you?
Oh my gosh, in so many ways. She's just so incredible to have gone through that, and she's so resilient, and to continue to just fight and show up for herself.
Dana-Farber actually saved my life, so yeah, I owe them everything.
You can't move forward if you stay still and you're stuck. So it's really important to me in any time where I'm struggling to just remember everything is temporary and you just have to move through it. I had breast cancer. It was hormone positive, HER2 negative, with lymphatic invasion.
And how did you do normal?
I was the head trainer at Burn Boot Camp Norwood.
So how did you take the news of her diagnosis?
Honestly, devastated, just heartbroken and devastated for her and what that meant.
And she called me, and I remember everything, what I was wearing, what I was thinking. I just was in complete shock, and I immediately just started trying to comfort her.
Each and every time she was at camp, how are you feeling? How are things going? Mentally, physically, kind of gauging where she was and what she needed from the workout. Some of those workouts they're either strength-based or they are cardio-based, and so they can be pretty high intensity. It's a boot camp at the end of the day. So kind of feeling her out how she felt, and then modifying, taking the intensity down on anything that needed to be brought down.
With a lot of treatment, chemotherapy, radiation, I have ongoing medications that I take. I get injections, all to stop hormone production. So it's an ongoing process, but I have a great medical team, and they put a treatment plan together that fortunately seems to be working. Another thing that I really made sure to stay active. I was always active prior to my diagnosis, but after the diagnosis, I made a promise to myself to maintain that.
So I just really kind of I've always felt, really drawn to her. I think she's just such a wonderful person, and I'm just so inspired by her story. I still talk about her quite often to other people when we're going through hard things, right? How important your mindset is around nutrition, how important fitness and just believing in yourself and having the courage to do hard things and persevere and be resilient. So yeah, she definitely still continues to inspire me.
I did a lot of walking when I wasn't feeling well, and I continued to go to my gym a couple of times a week when I felt up for it.
So what gym did you go to?
Burn Boot Camp in Norwood. The community at that time was just, it was unmatched, and I was very involved there prior to the diagnosis, and I made some great...
Aaron and I actually met at the John F. Kennedy School in Canton, and we've been teaching together for quite a few years.
You keep looking at your bracelet. Do you mind explaining the significance?
Oh, I looked at it because it says keep moving, and that that's something that I learned at Burn. That's one of their, I don't know if it still is, but keep moving was always something that the trainers there would say. And when I got my diagnosis, I had this made. It's a mantra band. It says keep moving on it, so that I would remember that when I was really tired or depressed or overcome with just the weight of it all, to remember just put one foot in front of the other and keep moving.
And so you're wearing a Jimmy Fund Walk shirt.
Yes, I did my 5th Jimmy Fund Walk today.
I did the 13.2 mile walk with Aaron and a couple other teachers, and then I've done some of the shorter walks too as well. They even had one right here in Canton that I did.
This year I did the half marathon. Slightly shorter this year because the finish line was at Fenway Park, but I did the course from Wellesley to Boston. Sure, this year I raised over close to $2,000. In the past I've raised, my first year I raised $5,000. Each year I try to raise at least $1,500, so keep moving, get up every day, get dressed, even if you don't go anywhere, and try to get some movement into your day, because it just does amazing things to reset your brain.
How has her story inspired you?
Oh my gosh, in so many ways. She's just so incredible to have gone through that, and she's so resilient, and to continue to just fight and show up for herself.
That concludes our show.
Thanks for watching
School Days.
Do my passion of filmmaking as an actual career.
It was shocking